For students struggling with stress management, we'll show you why all you need to do is breathe.
A former Nickelodeon star found a way to Northwestern Thursday. Hear what he had to say.
And one Evanston gallery owner has a passion for art, for dogs, and for saving lives.
All that and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news right now. Good evening, I'm Andrew Merica.
And I'm Katie Corrales. Thank you for joining us.
University police are conducting an investigation after students found flyers in Crow Hall expressing White Lives Matter rhetoric, according to the Daily Northwestern. This past Saturday, 2 students discovered more than 10 flyers and took them down. Each flyer read, quote, "It's okay to be white." While the flyers were spread throughout the building, 7 were found clustered near the Department of African American Studies. There were reports of the flyers being cited as early as Friday evening. According to the Washington Post, similar posters have been found on campuses across the nation and may be linked to white nationalism. University police told the Daily in an email that the posters and their origins are currently an open case.
Northwestern can be a stressful place for students. NU Counseling and Psychological Services say more than 90% of the illnesses students struggle with originate from stress. Earlier this year, CAPS launched a new stress management program, and NNN's Cian Shin has the story.
As we are approaching finals week, knowing how to cope with stress is imperative for all students. I'm here at CAPS to talk with the psychologist behind a new program that helps students breathe through stress.
That's number one reasons why students come to us, for stress and anxiety.
Dr. Monika Gutkowska is a staff psychologist at CAPS, currently working on Breathe, which she hopes will reduce students' stress and anxiety. The program, spearheaded by Dr. Cindy McKenzie, is designed to fit into busy schedules.
We created Breathe as a stress management resource that students can use on the go, right? When you have maybe 5 or 10 minutes in between things where you want to calm down your mind and body.
The resource includes videos of stress response and audio practices that students can easily access through the NU Help app or through the website.
The philosophy is to have students take a little bit of a break during the day because we're always so busy, we're always rushing place to place, we always feel like we never have enough time.
With Breathe, students can take a small amount of time to make a big difference in their day.
I'm a passionate believer in, we can't necessarily change the stresses of life sometimes, but what we can do is work on our responses.
And sometimes, all it takes is to breathe. Cian Shin, Northwestern News Report.
Psychologists are continuing to add more features to update Breathe. For anyone who is interested, check out northwestern.edu/breathe.
And as finals inch closer, we wanted to know how you handle stress.
So we asked you in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
Have you used at CAPS' service Breathe so far since being at Northwestern this fall quarter?
No.
No, I haven't.
I haven't used the app.
No.
I haven't used it yet, but I've downloaded it and I plan on using it in my free time.
I have not used the service. I was not aware that this was a service that was offered.
I have not used this specific app, but I have used mindfulness apps in the past.
I have not.
Do you consider using this service or another meditation service?
Definitely. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool if I wanted to start meditating.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool, like if I wanted to start meditating.
Personally, I don't think so. I think my own personal practices work fairly well.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like a really cool program. I think I just haven't taken the time to download it.
Definitely. The hard part is just getting started.
Yeah.
If you have an idea for a future Rock Talk, tweet us at NNN_news.
Throughout this year, we've been bringing you the latest on the candidates for the Illinois gubernatorial race. With primaries on March 20th, many candidates are campaigning across the state. Monday night, Northwestern students and the community came together for a town hall meeting featuring candidate Daniel Biss. Biss gave us an exclusive about why he's running.
We're having a fight for the soul of the Democratic Party. Do we want to have an election or do we want to have an auction? Do we want to have ordinary people like the people in this room play a role in deciding what our future is? Or do we want to just hand over the decision to a few people because of their wealth and power?
For a full analysis of his platform and what he said Monday night, stay tuned for Politicat at 8 p.m. right here.
Northwestern welcomed actor Josh Peck to campus on Thursday.
NNN's Justin Sweetwood joins us now. And Justin, you actually got to talk to Josh.
Yes, I did, Katie. And students took a step back in time to their childhood last week when Northwestern Hillel brought TV star and social media mogul Josh Peck to campus for its fall speaker event. Peck, who starred in the Nickelodeon hit show Drake and Josh from 2004 to 2007, came to NU to speak about his Jewish identity and also to have a lighthearted conversation about his life and acting endeavors. Many braved the cold to get in line for Peck, who Hillel Programming Vice President Sasha Becker said was the perfect choice to bring to campus.
We think that our age range specifically relates a lot to Josh, just that he's really personable and really funny, so it'd be a lighthearted event that could kind of draw the whole campus together.
And that it did. Peck came out to a massive showing and applause from the crowd, which she kept laughing the whole night, even getting the audience involved with a Q&A.
Got my finger on the Northwestern pulse, and I'm just a big fan of the school. It was great. Everyone was lovely and such great students, really good questions. Grady, the moderator, questioning, and it was just a really good time. I feel really lucky to be a part of it.
School of Communications junior Grady Jensen moderated the talk and said Peck's energy made it a successful event.
Overall, it was a lot of fun. He was a very funny, nice person and really knew how to interact with the crowd well. And he could turn it on and really make it a fun evening.
Even making fun of me.
Looks like you shop at Men's Warehouse, and it's paying off. Let me tell you, I am liking what you're projecting.
It's a pretty great compliment, right, from Josh Peck. He liked your suit. So, Josh just got married.
That's right.
But he didn't invite Drake to the wedding. So did he talk about it?
Not exactly. Now, Jensen told me that Josh and his representatives did not want to talk about that during the event, but someone did bring it up during the Q&A, and Josh said, quote, Drake was bugging out for a few years, but now the two are apparently better. They're on good terms and have reconciled.
Thanks, Justin. Coming up, we'll show you how a man who served for the country continues to serve Evanston. Stay tuned.
I'm Jamaica Ponder, and we'll be right back with your 5-day weather forecast in just a moment.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Here's your 5-day forecast. Tomorrow will be the warmest of this week with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 33. There's a high chance of morning showers, which should clear up by the afternoon when we'll see through the sun, but we will get some clouds returning in the evening. Thursday will be a high of 40, going down to 36 in the evening. The day will be partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain later in the day, so don't forget your jackets. Expect to pull out your parkas and umbrellas for a very wet start to the weekend. Thunderstorms all Friday with a high of 47 and a low of 42. This weekend will be calm starting Saturday evening, though you can expect some morning showers, which will turn into a cloudy evening with a high of 44 and a low of 26. Sunday will finally give way to some sun. No rain, I promise, but it'll still be freezing with a 5-day low of 33 and a high of 26, so don't forget your jackets, Northwestern. If your built-in weather app isn't working on your phone, you can always check out the Facebook page of NNN to see if there is any severe weather. Back to you.
Though it's cold outside, one Evanston gallery is warming hearts of U.S. veterans. NNN's Nikki Kaplan sat down with the owner to learn more about his mission.
Bob Dannon, owner of the Dannon Gallery, began selling photograph prints in October to fundraise for Canines for Warriors, a nonprofit organization supporting United States veterans. The patriotic photo shows a barn with the U.S. flag painted on it and a photoshopped banner stating "Proud to Be." Dannon sells the photos for $245 unframed and $475 framed, donating $25 for each print sold. He says the benefits of charity outweigh the profit loss.
It doesn't hurt my business, it just cuts into it a little bit. It helps them and it makes me feel good.
Evanston has its fair share of art galleries, but for Dannon, they're not competition toward his charitable goals.
He says his photo could be huge for the gallery.
This is a photograph that if it gets picked up, I say picked up, by the military, police stations, fire stations, whatever, I could sell thousands of these things.
Canines for Warriors' mission of pairing veterans with service dogs is the perfect cause for Dannon, a dog owner for over 4 decades. Tim Crosby, the organization's strategic partnerships manager, says though small in scale, Dannon's contribution has a big impact.
$25 will buy a gift card to Applebee's and pay for lunch for a couple of warriors. It buys toys and treats that we need for the dogs in the kennel.
The organization relies on independent donors like Dannon for nearly 90% of its support. Presently, it has successfully paired 367 veterans with service dogs.
That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's pretty impressive when each one of those 367 is a life saved.
Dannon will continue supporting Canines for Warriors for as long as his gallery remains open.
Nikki Kaplan, Northwestern News Report.
So far, Dannon has raised $150 toward the cause.
What a great story. What a great story. And since Veterans Day was this past Saturday, NNN would like to thank all of the veterans, including Bob Dannon, for their service. Northwestern is ranked number 11 among national universities, number 20 on the basketball courts, and most recently number 1 for Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management. In The Economist 2017 ranking, Kellogg was placed at the top of the list, claiming the title of best full-time MBA program in the world. The Economist ranks schools based on different categories, including diversity, ratio of faculty to students, and students' rating of the program. Kellogg's communications office told us that its policy is not to comment on rankings. The business school has risen in the Economist rankings in the past few years. Last year it topped out at second behind the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business, and in 2015 it was ranked 7th. The school has also placed highly in other rankings. In the past, Kellogg was ranked number 1 by Businessweek and is currently ranked 12th in the world by U.S. News and World Report. Kellogg students told us they're excited about the ranking and hope that Kellogg will capitalize on this to improve their programs even more.
Well, Kellogg may be the best full-time MBA program in the world, but what's causing a growing number of American grad students to ditch those business schools in the U.S. and pursue their MBAs outside the country? That's next in Money Minute.
After the break, we'll take you to one of Chicago's best-kept secrets. Stay tuned.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Well, the majority of MBA programs in Europe, Canada, and Asia saw an influx of American applicants in 2017. That's according to an annual report by the Graduate Management Admission Council. So why are many Americans ditching big-name U.S. business schools in favor of business schools outside the country? Well, let's follow the money. Tuition at Harvard Business School is $72,000 this year. Add on room, board, and other fees, and the total cost is about $107,000. It takes you 2 years to complete an MBA in the U.S. for a total of about $214,000. Now, if you went to the Judge Business School at the University of Cambridge instead, you would complete your MBA in just 1 year, and it would cost you a total of about $87,000 US. An increasing number of American graduate students are drawn to these business schools outside the U.S., where they plan to finish their MBA in half the time and about half the cost. Other benefits of securing an MBA outside the U.S.: applicants say they enjoy the chance to build an international network, potentially learn another language, and obtain more experience than they otherwise would. But we should note this does not mean the demise of the U.S. business school as we know it. MBA applications to large U.S. business schools, that is to schools admitting more than 200 students each year, actually rose by 4%. Meanwhile, smaller U.S. business schools saw applications drop by about 6% this year. With Money Minute, I'm Matt Stunn.
Evanston is home to many small businesses that all have a story to tell. Our Jordan Tilley takes us inside too to learn a little more.
Just north of the main Purple Line stop, there's a little light in Evanston.
These give light, so it has a function, plus it highlights the artwork.
Mateen Husami owns the Little Light Bazaar.
Management is currently me and my wife part-time.
One of many small businesses around Main Street. James Ali owns Dave's Rock Shop, a block away from Husami's store.
It's a very unique business, and I'm glad that we took the jump and we did it.
Ali bought the store from its namesake, his brother-in-law Dave, 8 years ago, and Little Light has been open for 2.5 years.
So before I was doing something completely unrelated to lights, which was corporate law.
Through traveling in his previous career, Husami realized what he really wanted to do was create.
And then you just take these there little Velcro thingies here. You just Velcro them shut.
He owns a workshop in India where all the lights he designs are made by hand.
Some of these are based on Mehndi henna patterns that are very traditional Indian.
Both Ali and Husami say part of their success comes from owning stores that are so unique.
There's not too many places where you can buy material that's like 25 million years old.
And while owning a small business isn't easy,
I'm sales, I'm marketing, I'm finance.
Being part of a community is.
You know, we have people who are friends who will volunteer, come in whenever we need help.
As his store's presence continues to grow,
we're doing Facebook marketing, we're going to trade shows.
Husami doesn't see this light going out anytime soon. Jordan Tilley, Northwestern News Report.
Husami is also expanding his store's online presence and says he is building a large customer base on the West Coast as well.
An historic Chicago cultural landmark recently joined Lake Michigan and the Grand Canyon as a national treasure. But it might not be a place you've ever heard of. NNN's Joey Safchek gives us an inside look.
This may look like an ordinary Bronzeville building, but once I walk up those stairs and enter that door, I'm inside a newly named national treasure. Come with me to find out why those who know and love the Southside Community Arts Center believe it's more than just the art that make this Chicago's hidden gem. The center was established in 1940. 77 years later, it was named a national treasure by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Natalie Battles-Reed is one of 3 staff members at the center. She says that this recognition is much deserved.
For me, it just means people know, or is going to know what I already knew, that this space is a treasure. We used to call it, and it still is, the best kept secret on the South Side. That should be a secret. It's the gem, the hidden gem of Chicago.
The center was dedicated by First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Since then, it has been a haven for African American culture and art in the Chicago area. Part of its current mission is to feature art by up-and-coming artists. Battles-Reed says national treasure status is a major accomplishment for the center, and that it's been the center's goal since she began working there 2 years ago. She says she hopes this recognition will inspire the next generation of Chicagoans to learn more about the center's history and offerings.
It's been one going on for so long, and that it constantly transcends to new generations and bettering people's lives and culturing people's lives. And that's what's so special about it. That's why it's a national treasure.
Joey Safchik, Northwestern News Report.
Now, believe it or not, this isn't even the end of the National Recognition Road for the Southside Community Arts Center. They're now attempting to earn a spot on the National Register of Historic Places. And coming up, the Wildcats brought the Boilermakers to Ryan Field for Parents Weekend on Saturday. They went 3 games in a row into overtime. Did they do it again? We'll tell you after the break.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
As we talked about before the break, the Wildcats went into overtime in their last 3 games, breaking an NCAA record.
Geez, that's why they call them the Cardiac Cats, I think. But did they go into a 4th OT Saturday against Purdue? NNN's Will Greer was there, and he has the answer.
With the bright lights in full effect for Northwestern football's first ever November night game at Ryan Field, it was the Big Stop defense that shone brightest, paving the way to a 23-13 win over Purdue and the team's 5th Big Ten win in as many weeks.
From a defensive standpoint, some big stops. I thought the defensive line again was, really solid.
That defensive line allowed just 40 rushing yards, totaled 3 sacks, and stopped Purdue on 3 out of 4 fourth down attempts. How did they do it?
I think just focusing on our first step. Coach Long really emphasizes explosiveness and practice, and we were just able to replicate that tonight.
As for a thoroughly average night for the Wildcat offense, which scored its only 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, Bennett Skoronek's 117 receiving yards and a touchdown were a bright spot, surely not overlooked by Skoronek's quarterback.
He's playing great. He's been playing well all season. He's aggressive, which is nice. And when the ball goes up in the air, I'm pretty confident he's going to come down with it or get a call. And so it's nice to have a guy like that. We haven't had someone like that in a while.
And speaking of rarities for Northwestern football, the Wildcats are now on just their second 5-game Big Ten winning streak in the Pat Fitzgerald era.
Anytime you win 5 in a row and you're in conference play, it's not an easy feat, no matter what level of football you're at, grade school, high school here, or divisional play in the NFL. And I think our guys have a lot of confidence right now. I think they see the return on the investment, and I don't believe that they're going to stop that type of work ethic.
And as tough to believe as this might be, the Wildcats will try for their first 6-game winning streak since 1996 next Saturday when they welcome the 5-5 Minnesota Golden Gophers. From a frigid Ryan Field in Evanston, Illinois, I'm Will Greer, NNN Sports.
Good stuff. Kay, did you make it out to the game?
No, it was way too cold for me.
It's too cold for me, too, actually. The last game I was at was the Michigan State game. Froze the whole time. Cats next take on Minnesota, like Will said. This weekend, it'll kick off at 11 a.m. at Ryan Field.
You can also catch the game on TV on the Big Ten Network. When we come back, a new business is popping up in Evanston. Stay tuned.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Pop-up shops, stores that are only in a location for a few weeks, are a low-cost option for traditional retail locations. NNN's Kelly Norris takes us to Maine and Chicago to see how one business owner is combining this money-saving idea with her love for vintage furnishings.
For Laura Swanson, antique shopping has always been an adventure.
I grew up going to flea markets and garage sales and secondhand stores with my parents, and I think that really instilled a love of hunting for treasures in me.
A love that didn't die as she grew up.
It's just kind of a fun hobby that I eventually was able to turn into a business.
Swanson is the owner of Antique Modern, a vintage furniture and trinket company that has been hosting local pop-up shops for the past year.
I thought it would be fun to do pop-ups with vintage furnishings and things that people have a hard time finding other places.
And although pop-ups work to keep overhead and employee costs down, Swanson says it can be difficult to keep customers between shops.
It's kind of sad because we're only going to be here a short time, but then we can come back in the future and do it again. And it'll be all new and different.
Difference in pieces, stories, and customers is Swanson's favorite part of the work.
I like the history. I like to hear the stories of when people got something, or if it was passed down through their family, or their story of where they found it and why they fell in love with it. And I like to make sure that things get a new home and a new life with someone else.
Swanson says she plans to continue hosting seasonal pop-ups in the Chicago suburbs. Kelly Norris, Northwestern News Report.
The Modern Antique Pop-Up is currently on Main Street in Evanston and will be closing on Sunday.
And that's all for the Northwestern News Report. We'll be back in January. We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our senior members leaving Northwestern and moving on to greener pastures.
For tonight, I'm Katie Corrales.
And I'm Andrew Merica. Stay tuned for Politicat. Good night.